Today we are installing a wildlife pond in my garden. I'm Linda and this is my Fantasy Homestead. Oh yeah, this is the life. The property we just bought, well, a year ago, this one, had 7 baths in it. This is the last one that has survived. I asked Mark to disassemble the rest of them and we have cut them in small chunks and we have sent them to the tip. To turn it into a wildlife pond, I need to plug the hole, silicone it, and plug the overflow hole and the 2 handle holes on the sides. So let's clean the bath first and then, well, let's empty the bath first, then clean it, then dry it off. I have about 20 minutes before the dentist opens that I can ring about my chipped molar, and let's see if they have a space for me today. If not, yay! If yes, oh, we're gonna drive. I was actually very scared and daunted about the starting of this project because I didn't know what I was doing. I did a lot of research and in the end I just said we're gonna do this one day and we started. Yep. What I'm using is the not natural rubber for the bungs because that will not react with the wildlife or any aquatic creatures, and the same with the silicone. I'm using the aquatic silicone that is used for all of the, I literally just forgot the name. What is this called? Aquariums. Yes, they've been used in aquariums, so it should be completely safe. I think that the only issue what we could have is that the size is not very good and that they are sitting in silicone instead of actually being like screwed into the bath, if you know what I mean. But if they ever fail, I can just replace and sort it all out again, and we gonna use different materials and maybe, you know, learn from our mistakes. We are done and this is how it's gonna stay for the next 48 hours underneath the roof and protected from the rain. Either it will work or not, we don't know, but we can always fix it later, right? See you in 24 hours, bye! The bath has cured and we are gonna be doing some other things today. For example, installing it, yay! If you see that yellow door there, that on old maps was where the door to the garden was, but as you can see it's been blocked off and they have tried to build 2 garages. There's the pad that we cleaned off. Don't mind that it's dirty at the moment, I will clean it off, I promise. If we think about it like this, I think they had tried to make 2 garages and a pad in front of it to sell this land and build a house on it and then have an access road somewhere here. I am super happy that the previous owners didn't succeed because the garden is the best part of this house. I love the house, but I love gardening, so I love it. I want to open that up and eventually have the path coming this way from that door. Then this would be the herb garden and then it would fall into my normal garden, which will probably have a fence around because we have bunnies. We definitely have bunnies. I put a wildlife camera on and we have rabbits. So this is gonna be the main path of the garden. It's gonna go from the garages into underneath the lime tree. On the left of it we will have a really cool food forest area, as you can see here, and that will help to buffer the road that you can probably hear all of the time. It's a very busy road, so I thought that if I planted lots of trees there, it will buffer the sounds a bit more. Then you will have a path, then we will have a path, and then the vegetable gardens on the right hand side. So yeah, we just need to get this straight. I kept looking and I thought that each segment was straight, but as I stood further and further along, it kept being very wavy and I had not gotten it very straight. In the end I managed, which is the main point, but it took some time some good 15 minutes of me running around the fields and going like, now this is not straight and this is not straight. But we have done it. I've been thinking about where I'm gonna put the bath. There's my pear, and there's my dwarf cherry. So both of these varieties are dwarfs. And then in betweeners, there's nothing. And that's where the bath's gonna go. I just need to measure it about 80 centimeters from the edge, and then the other path will go just before that tree. So there's another meandering path that's gonna go in through the fruit forest. Yeah, it's gonna be gorgeous. Maybe one of these days, in about 5 years or so. We need to get the bath here, and once the bath is here, we need to put it in there to see how it kind of fits, and then just diggy. The bath is basically made out of fiberglass, and as that, it's inert. But as you can see, it's quite windy today, and carrying the bath, it acts like a sail a little bit, and it takes you for a walk a little bit as well. But at least it is not as heavy as it looks, because it looks like I'm a strong woman. I am not. I am a weakling. I have no upper body strength, and I'm amazed that I could carry this thing on my own. What do you think? I have put it on the soil at the moment so that we can gauge approximately how far from the trees it's gonna be. About 1.20 meters. And it might not be the prettiest thing ever, but I am repurposing the baths from the house so that we don't need to go to the garden center, buy a pond for £300 and then install it here. This is just for frogs and newts. I have newts in here. I am so happy about it. They're so cute. But they need somewhere to breathe, so they eat frogs eat slugs, and I have a really big war with slugs. If you remember in my previous garden, because it was encased with artificial turfs and pavement slabs, and my garden was the only one who was really alive and kicking, everything got eaten by slugs. I had to, in the springtime after rains, I had to relocate the jars worth of slugs at the time, but they just kept coming back. Hopefully I can entice now natural predators to live in my garden to eat them. That is gonna be the best! We have done the hard bit. The bath is in, and with the first try, I am super happy about it. I didn't even expect it to work that well. It is about, I don't know, a centimeter, 2 centimeters, about an inch above the soil. I actually like that a lot, because that means that all of the runoff or anything else is just gonna be filled in from the rainwater, and instead of like running off from the soil. In some strange twist of fate as well, that end is deeper dug in than this end by about centimeter, so it is sloped, and apparently that is exactly the thing that I needed to do when I was researching how to install these baths. I'm super happy. First try, yay! Now we just need to use this soil from here to deal with, like, dig it in, like fill all of the gaps around. I dug out about 3 trolleys worth of soil from this area where the bath's installed, and then I filled up back 2 trolleys worth of soil around the edges. So where the bath is sitting, I kept filling it up and the soil just kept disappearing. I'll probably need to go around in a couple of months once the soil's settled and just fill it up a little bit more. Where I think it went is probably because I had to raise the soil level a little bit. That's used up a lot of soil. But otherwise, it looks really, really snazzy. I really like it. I do hope that the soil will settle and that the soil will be washed underneath the bath as well, because I couldn't reach that far down below. And I know that the bath is like rounded shape on the bottom. It's not straight and it's not square. So hopefully the soil will wash in and it will all be fine. We are so done with the digging bit. I am so excited, super happy how it's looking. I raised the soil a little bit sloped upwards towards the bath so that there's no lip, because the bath is sitting about that much higher than the soil, as I explained. Unfortunately, I dug into a red ant's nest somewhere along the line, so they are all around here in the soil, quite unhappy, but the good thing about being in the winter is that they are quite lethargic, so I don't need to worry about being stung too much. Because they're all just going like, what's going on? Where are we? What's going on? Oh, where's home? I don't know. I don't know where home is. And then they start panicking and then they start going crazy. The next thing we need to do is build a ramp. I think that end is gonna stay as the deep end, and I will build a slopey, shallower end here. Because there's already a slope there, it's gonna be a lot easier for me to do that. And then we're gonna put a little shelf on this side from bricks, where I'm gonna put some aquatic plants so that it's not completely dead. I really hope that the newts, frogs and water beetles and other little creepy crawlies will really like it. Last summer I saw some dragonflies around, so if they put some eggs in there and the larvae comes along, I find the dragonfly larvae very, very creepy looking, but I love dragonflies, so we're gonna endure, okay? It's because they have those pincers at the back end. We are gonna go shopping for stones and pebbles and all of the other bits that I have everywhere around my house. Okay. First place is where the fire pit stones were. I'm gonna take them. They are very nice. They are gonna be perfect for the bees. Oh look, this one's cracked from the heat. Yeah, I want to create a little bit of a wildlife area for example, for bees, because they need to drink to keep their hives cool during the summer. But if they fall in, they can't get out. So putting stones in water sources help them sit on the stone and then drink from there. Okay. Ooh, there's more. I'm very hot now. I'm boiling a little bit. I was thinking that the first thing we're gonna start to do is we're gonna put the central rock in that's gonna keep everything from sliding. I have chosen this one, and it needs to go really slowly. Because we do not want to break the bath. If I chuck this in, this will probably fracture and then it won't hold the water ever again. It's scratched. Oh no! Next thing, we're gonna build our shelving unit. This brick, for example, is completely blown. It's round and it has like a crack in the center as well. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's unusable. There's cracks more. I think that's gonna be perfect. There we go. I think I need to get more bricks. I'm gonna use them to fill it up the gap, and then I will build the pebbles up to look better. More bricks. And now just the last two touches, that I found this amazing log. Hopefully it will reach. Nope, no, it doesn't. I need to yeah, now it's not gonna move. Just amazing. This way or the other way? What you think? I kind of like it this way, because this way if anything crawls up, they will fall back into the water, which is not great. So I think we're gonna do it this way, so everything crawls out and they fall off of the water. What do you think? I really like it, and we have done it in 4 hours. It's amazing. The next thing we need to do is just wait for the rain, because you can't fill this wildlife pond up with tap water. Tap water has chlorine in it. It keeps the pipes clean, but it kills all of the bacteria and all of the good stuff that we kind of want to entice to come and live here. and it's not very good for amphibians. I might just put more pebbles up here on the edge so it's like a complete strip coming out. I wanted to know if the seal will hold, so I put 3 buckets of water in it. I do love the sound. It's been a couple of days. I thought that the pond would fill up on its own. I put like 3 buckets in the beginning in there, and I thought the rest will be filled up by rain. No. My wildlife plants, the wetland ones, have arrived. They need to go into the planting setup and into the wildlife pond because they are wetland plants, and one of them is underwater plant, so it can't be out for much longer. So we're gonna fill it up from my rainwater barrel until it's full. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing during my lunch break. You're coming along. Okay. Let's look for the plants now. I bought 2 pots to plant them in. 1 and 2. So this one is hornworth, and it will go underneath the water, and it is an oxygenator plant, so it will provide oxygen. Aww, it's alive! Look at that! I'll keep it in a wrap so that we can just pop it in, and it's really wet as well. I have 2 marginal plants that will need to sit underneath the water a little bit. The roots underneath, the crowns on top. One is marsh marigold, and the other one is white water forget-me-not. So we need to plant these in these pots to be ready to go into the pond. I really hope that the plants like it here and that they establish and that they grow really well. The hornworth is apparently rootless, as in it does not have roots. And it's just weighed down by a strip of lead, so it just grows like this apparently. And it should absorb all of the nutrients into the water so that the algae doesn't do any kind of blooms. I do not know how successful it will be, but fingers crossed, we can just hope. And then the rest of the plants are just there for pollinators and to attract more dragonflies. We're all planted and we're all done. Yay! Hopefully it has enough time to stabilize before the newts and the frogs are coming in to lay their eggs and potentially live there. I really want them to live here. Okay, see ya!